So who all can see me right now? Because I only see one person at a time. Oh wait, are we live?
No, you have to hit the view up in the right corner, maybe.
It says speaker
Wait,
view.
hold it.
You see a little
Participant?
box? View?
You are live on YouTube now.
Woo!
Now, what if we hit that button that says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube? Will that go to the YouTube feed?
I have live on YouTube right now.
I also have that.
Yeah, me too.
Kelley, can you see us all now?
No, I see one person at a time.
There's a grid kind of in the upper, I forget where it is on the phone.
Top right.
Gallery.
Go to
No,
gallery
that one's
view.
Where it is on the phone.
Top right. Go to gallery view.
I don't see it.
Right.
I can see
Oh, if you're on
participant.
your phone, I don't think you can do it, Sean says.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm on my phone.
All right, gang,
Okay.
we are at 9:30, so I'm going to actually start the recording. We are now broadcasting on YouTube.
Oh, on my phone.
So here we go. Gang, we are at 9:30. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday, May 24th, the postponed into the virtual Running of the Green 33rd annual event. We're so glad that you can join us. And I'm Lonnie Summers. I'm here with my good buddy, Kelley. And then also,
Morning there, Lonnie.
good morning. And then we're also joined by the McGrath family. We've got Margot, Haley, and Taryn, and her little one as well.
Morning.
Happy race day.
Morning.
Well, we realized certainly this wasn't what we had hoped things would be for the 33rd annual Running of the Green, but under these circumstances, we really appreciate all the outpouring of support, and kindness, and love that everybody gave us an understanding under these unusual circumstances. But we're certainly happy that we could turn this into a virtual event and allow everybody to still go out and participate and get that 33rd one under their belt. It was fun doing packet pickup with so many people coming down and seeing how important it was for them to be able to get that 33rd one in under their belt some way or another, because they've been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years.
Well, Lonnie, you know, it was interesting to, as we led up to it, we knew this COVID-19 crisis was on the horizon and coming at us fast. And I remember going back to Fox 31 and Margot, you and I, and that was a blast. And, you know, I have to say, I don't remember, there was not one question about it. So as it might have been in the back of our minds, it wasn't in front of us. And it was amazing how just a few days later, we were sitting in your office and talking about, what are we going to do? What's going to happen? And it was a very chilling feeling at that time. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it's certainly for, yeah, we were thinking everything was going to go on as planned, and things deteriorated so quickly with everything as the pandemic had started up for sure.
Yeah,
And Margot, you know, when you were with us that day, and we were reflecting on some of our experiences with Terry, and I mean, it was sort of joyful too, but it was a little melancholy. But we were really determined that this Running of the Green was going to be just spectacular. What did you think at that time?
I thought so as well. I mean, I remember when we went to Fox, we were a go, and the outlook looked, I mean, the weather looked good, everything. We were all geared up and excited, especially with the additional things that you brought in this year. We were very excited for the event. We were ready to go, and then, you know, within a couple, was it a day or even a day or two, it completely changed. It was,
that was a big,
still is.
a huge sea change, and And here we are almost 2.5 months later, and and I admire so much our running community, because you can see what they've been doing. You know, when I go out on my runs and I see people, and most of them now have a face covering that they pull up when they come within 6 feet of you. But I don't think I've seen more runners in the last 10 years out and about than I have in the last 2 months. Lonnie?
Yeah, it's been pretty wild to see how many people have been out, and it's wonderful to see, and people are looking for something to do. So this is actually why people are certainly disappointed that we can't be doing this in person. People are really excited to have something to do and feel like that collaboration and the camaraderie is there. And I hope that people really enjoy some of the fun things that we've got going on today, especially as we look to create a fun experience for everybody in a virtual format. And of course, one of those ways that we're doing that is with the MotoGo app, which is pretty easy. Hopefully everyone got their instructions on how to use that. And, you know, the virtual run, and it was neat to see, Creigh, actually how many people decided that they were going to run today. Even
Really?
despite that, we've got some interesting weather on the way. But how many people were going to run today, and that's exciting. And but anyway, from now until the end of May, they can do their virtual 7K or their 2 mile. And we have an audio experience for either event. And all they have to do is download the MotoGo app through their links that we sent them. And as they go along, they'll get to hear from you and myself, but they get to hear from our friends at KBCO, a couple of our friends from Cliff Bar with some fun cheers that they did. And also, I think we might even have a Bronco cheerleader who decided to wish everybody some good luck out on their run or walk as well.
Well, that's brilliant. I mean, I think when you approached me and said, you know, you've partnered with MotoGo to do this, I thought, well, who knew that we would be becoming overnight experts in so many different creative ways to embrace the running community and try to understand a way to to take away a little bit of that discomfort of being locked up. And the great thing about runners and walkers is that you really can't lock them up. You can make them safe, but you can't lock them up, because they're in it to win it. And I think with the very fresh air, because the reduced emissions, and being able to see the blue sky almost 24, all the time. And I think there's a level of energy that is just going to explode. And if Dr. Fauci is right, and the Secretary of Defense, that we could have a vaccine by December, it'll be all systems go for I guess it'll be the 34th running of the green. What are we going to do about that? How does that work?
Yeah, hopefully for sure. Well, certainly the 33rd one's got a little asterisk on it. But you know what I thought would be fun, Creigh? I don't know a lot of people really know how Running in the Green got started, and that it was all started by Terry. So I'd love for Margot to talk a little bit about that.
Well, it started on a cocktail napkin. Terry and Kevin Fitzgerald were trying to come up. They were both running. Terry was an avid runner. And they were trying to think of ways to give back to the community. And they came up with the idea, them both having Irish backgrounds, for Running of the Green, and to kick off the running season with an event that's fun and lively, and to give back to the community. And it initially started back to plant trees throughout the city. And then it evolved, and then we joined forces with Volunteers of America, and now we're with the Fetal Health Foundation. So it's continued to evolve, but it's always been to try to get people together, families together, friends together, to have a really good time, have a good run, where you're seeing interesting things, where, they wanted to do it outside of, and, we've always had the bagpipers and the step dancers, and live entertainment, and just really have a celebration block party afterwards, and bring people together.
You know, I remember, I'm just laughing, I'm remembering some of the different race courses that Terry came up with. And when, I don't remember when he brought me in, but it's like after the first year, second year, I think. And I'd say, Terry, man, this is going to be hard, you know, to figure this out. And the city is going to go nuts. And no, I can do it. You know, and Kevin would sort of be passive. Kevin would just kind of be the happy guy on the corner, but Terry was all in. And a few times there were some real challenges, but he would always just, you know, Terry was an optimist. Wouldn't you agree? He was always optimistic that we're going to do this. Not,
Oh,
I wonder.
he would find a way, girls.
Does that sound like your dad?
He was determined. There was
He
always
definitely
a way
liked
to
the
do it.
challenge. Anything that was challenging, he would take it, and that's why he always designed a challenging course, which people
Yeah.
loved and hated. So
Oh, yeah.
it was
As
always
did
very
we.
hard, but
Anybody
Yeah.
that ran the course, you know, in the last several years and they got past they were about a mile and a quarter in or a mile and a half in, and then you turned right and you went, what is he thinking?
yeah,
Like climbing
All
Mount Evans
uphill.
to the 2 mile mark, you know. And it was
I've
amazing.
I don't run the course as often as I used to, but when I did, it was always that gradual incline around the REI water point. When you gradually went back up, that's what always got me. It wasn't as big of a hill, but man, it creeps up on you. It was hard.
Yeah, there was and some funny conversations, and I can remember the old McCormicks, and we would get together. Well, first of all, we'd get together for our pre-event meetings there, which were more social activities than anything else. But the post-event, you know, going into the bar there, and I mean, you had to fight for a seat in that bar that faced the street, and everybody just had a blast. And I just thought, you know, it was one of the earliest races, you know, before rock and roll, before other things, that really built an entertainment piece into the race. Nobody else could claim that yet. It hadn't happened. There were good races, great races, but only Boulder, which was on a much larger scale, put music at miles or had entertainment at different places. And Terry was all in on that right from the get-go.
He always took pride in his block parties, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He always wanted them to make them fun and active and family oriented, and definitely involved beer, but he took pride in the block party afterwards.
Well, yeah, the family, he was pretty, the city, you know, and most of those people are retired now, so I can say the city probably turned, it was a wink and a nod to the regulations on how beer was managed and all of that. Because everybody loved it and there was never an issue. We never had a problem. And I can remember Jim White from Volunteers America running over to Terry and going, hey, I think we need to control the access here. And Terry go, nah, it's fine. It's going to be fine.
So, sounds about right.
So actually, I'm curious. So Taryn, I mean, for you and Haley, both you guys grew up with this race. What was that like?
Chaotic. Yeah. Like sometimes I was on trash duty and other times I was actually an Irish step dancer in the race and other times I was running the race. So
And you taught yoga.
Yeah, and sometimes I taught yoga before the race. So my position changed on the minute growing up in this race. I was sweeping streets, I was picking up trash, or, you know, I was Irish step dancing when I was younger, or pouring beer when I was older. So wherever Taryn and I were needed or wanted to be, sort of, that's what we did.
I remember
Sweeping
the
the
really,
streets definitely was not fun.
I remember the really cold mornings. Haley and I would take a really cold water and pour it from a hose into all of the ISU cups, and we were freezing
yeah.
the whole time at like 5:30 in the morning. It was so cold downtown.
Yeah, filling up the water station at the finish line.
And then 8 hours later, we'd be sweeping the streets, exhausted, just trying to keep everything in order, if there were such thing.
So Taryn and Haley, some of the things you wouldn't see, but and this is a true story. I'll freely admit it now, but you know, I really took a lot of my focus onto the race course itself, and I would drive over with our event truck. This is before House Sports got involved, and I would, you know, say, hey, I need the volunteers, I need the course marshal, I need the water station people, and we'd load them all up in there, and there was no OSHA representative present, and I would go roaring down the course, and we would drop people off. So eventually I was only left with a couple of the course guys that had to put things down, and one of them was Harry Hale, who I think at the time was a vice president of First Data. So, you know, a high-end executive. And the other one was Bob Elliott, who's the president of a big, huge company today, a CEO. It operates worldwide. And these two guys were also runners, and they were in the back of the truck. And I'd say, let's go, let's go, let's go. And so a couple of times I'd look at my watch and say, oh, we're behind. We got to get going. And one time, I guess I got a little bit too aggressive and floored the truck, and poor Harry went, you know, doing somersaults in the back of the truck. And Bob, and Bob said, "Guy, you just hurt Harry." And I said, "Is he okay? Is he okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, he's okay." I said, "Let's go, let's go," and we kept going.
Well, Terry, because he'd always drive around like a crazy man.
Yeah,
as we were.
It's an Irish thing.
Putting it
It's an Irish thing.
Yeah.
And we had cases of bottled water in the back of the truck.
Oh God.
And he had taken the truck and I hadn't unloaded. So I went back to go get the water to drop it off, and it was gone. It was spread, it's just scattered all over.
Oh.
I had to like follow his path to see where he'd gone to locate the water.
Like breadcrumbs.
Yeah, it was funny.
Well, we are.
I feel like that sort of summarizes the energy of the race, though. Very,
Completely.
very high energy, high strung, sort of a little chaotic, but always fun in the end.
Yeah.
Lonnie.
And you know what? That is a perfect segue, Haley, because what I thought would be fun to do is we actually have a video of some past event stuff put together that is what we're going to be missing this year, and we're going to look forward to coming back next year. So bear with me while I share the screen and try to get this up and running.
Oh.
Oh.
There we go.
There we go.
Ah, there he is. Oh, those waves.
Yeah.
There are the fast ones. Oh man, makes me miss it so
Gumpy.
much.
Oh,
Dude.
Hey, Lonnie, you remember when we did the naming of the street for Terry?
I'm glad I was an Irish step dancer before the wig era.
You wouldn't need a wig, Haley. You've got enough hair.
no, not with all that red hair.
But some of those girls still have red hair and they still wear the wigs. It's like depends on which company you dance for.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I wasn't in that part. I couldn't. No.
It was Mike Evans,
Yeah.
one of my old training partners.
Oh, that dog. I love that dog.
Casual 27 minutes.
And the fun begins.
Yep.
It's
Some
amazing
people-
what people would wear in the heat, sweating their
Oh my
asses
God.
off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was great, Lonnie. Thank you. I didn't hear the song though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Well, there we go.
Was that supposed to have sound?
Oh yeah, it actually had some really cool sound, but so bear with us. Sounded great on my end.
Yeah. Maybe it was
No one else could hear it.
on YouTube. It might have been, the sound may have been up on YouTube. I'm on Zoom.
Hold on. Whoop. There we go. And yeah, so we'll try to fix that for the next thing. So bear with us out there. This is our first time doing live streaming stuff, so we might be a little bit technically challenged on all this. But, you know, that really showcased all the fun and excitement of the event. And, you know, while we're in this virtual world, we're trying to bring you as much fun and excitement as we can. Obviously, with the MotoGo app, you can upload your results, which we sent you links on to be able to record that. And I hope that really people take advantage of our photo wall that we've got too, which is really cool because they can take a picture of themselves, upload that, and leave a message. And instead of it just being on the Facebook page, which we love people to obviously share on Facebook and whatnot, but share it on the photo wall too, because it's this collaboration or the conglomerate of everyone's photos all together with all their messages and stuff like that. We want to see all the love and support out there on that. But you know what, Creigh? I think the fun thing is usually we're telling people where the porta potties are, where the start line is at, and stuff like that. It's a little bit easier for us today because, hey, your start line is out your front door. Everybody gets a private bathroom, and their fridge has their free beer in it.
And you'll never.
And you can drink as much as you want. It's not limited to tier 2.
And you can carry your water station. So that's good. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Incidentally,
Definitely post up your pictures. So we want to see everyone that stuck with us this year through the turbulent times.
yeah. You know, one of the things that about water stations that you're going to see as we evolve and during this COVID-19 crisis, if races start to come back, one of the preferred things right now is that you onboard your water and nutrition. You know, so that's you might anticipate that's going to happen down the road until we get back to normal or a new normal.
So I think now what we'd like to do, hopefully this will work out and I get the sound working on this, as everyone's getting ready to start their journey, and we're going to wrap up our opening ceremony. We thank everybody for joining us, but I think most importantly is this event, none of us would actually be here today doing what we're doing if it wasn't for Terry McGrath. You know, sadly, we lost him a few years ago, shortly after the event. And then also Kevin Fitzgerald, who we lost this year. And as a special tribute in honor of them and in memoriam of them, we would like everybody to take a moment as we have the playing of Amazing Grace. So bear with me as I get this hopefully working correctly. Stand by. I need a production assistant.
Yeah, you do. Where's Michelle when you need her?
Exactly.
Don't you have 2 genius girls that can help you out here?
Yeah, you will.
Probably. You've got 3 genius girls in your house.
Yeah, Lonnie.
He's like, no comment.
Right?
You know what he could do is we could show the video and he could put on a recording Amazing Grace. Wow,
All
that was
right.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really beautiful.
And who's your friend, Lonnie?
That was by Ryan Devon. He's a neighbor of mine and obviously a good bagpiper. So we appreciate him providing that for us. And I think I missed getting the video going, but I got audio to work this time. So.
No, we saw it.
Oh, you saw it too?
Beautiful.
Oh,
It
great.
was
Yeah, we
on.
saw it.
It was on, and then it was off, and then it was on, and you know.
Well, hey,
We're getting there,
saw your-
Lonnie.
we're getting there, you know.
We saw your two USC, students to be. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, I hopefully that I don't have to get really good at this technology because we could actually be in person doing this and the countdowns and hearing it live. So thank you, Creigh, Margot, Haley, and Taryn for joining us today on our opening ceremony for the 33rd annual Running of the Green virtual edition. Thank you to all the thousands of participants who are going to be joining us on the virtual event. Thank you so much for their kindness, their love and support going through this. This hasn't been easy, and it's been troubling for all of us, especially when we realize that it's, you know, the events that we produce, that Creigh and I and all of us are part of all year long are not these big corporations. They're just people just like you and me. And, you know, this is, we can't wait to get back to some normal. So with all of that, I would like all of us, we can't do a start of an event without a countdown. So let's all count them down from 10. Are we ready?
we're ready.
Ready.
Do
In
it.
10, 9,
Nine,
8,
eight,
7,
seven,
6, 5, 4,
four,
3,
four,
2,
three,
1.
one.
Go! Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
See you at the 34th annual Running of the Green.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a great run.
Good luck.